59 years ago. That was 19 years before I was born. Yeah, that's 19 years before I was born. Now today, the consequences of that action of 1966, I, as a person, I am still sharing part of that. The consequences. You are sharing part of that. And the only thing they don't want to happen is to say, what if we just go our separate ways? What do you think is going to happen? What is the worst that is going to happen? Eh? Nigeria, with the population of 220 million, there's no scientific evidence. You have a contraption where you do not know the number of people in that country. Yeah, there is no reliable data that says this is the number of citizens of Nigeria. This is the number of women, number of children, number of the employed, the unemployed. There is no real data. We are existing in a metaverse. In a metaverse of something like in a vacuum, where those who are leading us are a bunch of rogues whose interest is more important to them than the interest of supposed 200 million people. They don't care, and they will never care. So keeping Nigeria together, it is not in our own interest. It is in the interest of those who find themselves in the position of power. And please don't give me that excuse that it is similar in other parts of Africa. I am from the contraption called Nigeria. So I am not supposed to be bothered. I don't give a damn about if they are facing the same problem in Ghana or they are facing the same problem in Tanzania or wherever it is. I am talking about a place where even my own ancestors were not given the chance to choose if they want to be part of this contraption or not, rather than for them to just play their part in ensuring it remains just one. So if you have a choice, what would you choose? Would you choose Nigeria? If you have a choice right now, or would you choose to have your own independent country out of it? What would you choose? I will choose to be out of this contraption. Carry the cross, face the consequences, and choose choose our own path. That's something that we will likely never have without a fight. That's something that we must actually really fight for. Or else, in 159 years to come, when most of us will be gone, our own children and children's children, they will be subjected to the same backward, corrupt contraption that they have forced our own forebearers, our own ancestors to be part of without any choice. So if you read all of the histories, majority of the people have shared today, you will see the Northerners telling you why they will never forget the killing of that racist, that tribalist, that mofo called Ahmadu Bello. They will tell you that. So if they are never going to forget, why are they in the same country with the people they accuse of killing him? Why do you want to be in the same country with the Igbos? If you feel like they were behind the killing of your ancestors, why do you still want to be in the same country with them? You as an Igbo man or Igbo woman, why do you want to be part of this contraption? Why do you hate the idea of Biafra 59 years after of when the program that was sponsored by political class in northern part of Nigeria, especially against the Igbos? Why do you still want to be part of this contraption? Why are you pretending that one Nigeria actually exists? Why? Why are you living in denial? Why do you want your brothers and sisters to be killed for even demanding for Biafra? Why? There are so many things that if you read your history right now, you realize that the history of that contraption is written in blood, the blood of innocent people. Most of the people killed for the control, for power in that contraption, yes, are mostly innocent people. People who are just like by association, by tribal association, they became a victim of this contraption Why do you want to keep it together? Hmm? Then they went for the genocidal war, and those who carried out the genocide, they were rewarded. None of them was tried for war against humanity. None of them. They were rewarded. They were so rewarded that they even named monuments after them. The chief genocidist, Muritala Muhammad, has the currency, his face printed on a currency in Nigeria. There are songs written for him, or written about him. They have, monuments named after him to remember a genocidist like that. That is what that contraption is. So a generation that want to correct this, this nonsense, that generation must educate their minds and know that if you continue to hold this contraption together, what you are doing is that you are holding together a system that is built, right, to actually kill you. That is what Nigeria is. Somebody said that it's so funny. Maybe it is not. It is so shameful that we didn't even name ourselves. What do you think we will call ourselves if we actually really to name ourselves? They call them Gold Coast in Ghana. Immediately, they were on their way for their independence. They changed their name. They called themselves Ghana, a real name that defined them. In Zimbabwe, they called them the Rhodesia. And yes, immediately they got their own independence. They dropped that slavish and colonial name. They call themselves Zimbabwe, something that really, really defined them. But they call you Nigeria, Niger area. And I do not have anything close to the Niger. I do not live close to the Niger. I'm from the southern part of that place, very far away, over 700 or 800 kilometers, if not like 1,000 kilometers away from that same river Niger or the river Benue or what have you. But they kind of have to name you after it. So if we have to name ourselves, what do you think we'll call ourselves? What do you think they will call you if you have to name yourselves? Everything that exists in that place today is by the design of those who set it up as their business. Nigeria. Some say that they will likely have to fight another civil war. We'll push ourselves to that edge where we have to fight another civil war before the contraption will finally break up. We are saying, do we really need to? Well, I would say we don't really have to fight another war. We can tell that we are incompatible. No matter how much lies they are repeating, we are incompatible. We have so much, we do not have anything in common, all of us. And yes, we can choose to live together, but that should be our own choice. That should be something that every one of us is allowed. Every part of that contraption is allowed to chip in and give conditions of if they want to live together. Do you want to still live in that contraption? That should be something we should be allowed to decide. Not by politicians, not by these criminals. Like I said, those who planned the first coup in Nigeria, they thought they've seen corruption. They thought they've seen bigotry, tribal and then ethnic hatred, religious supremacy. I wish they are still alive to see what Nigeria has turned out to become. I wish they are. And they can say, wow, maybe we should have probably just left everything as it was. Because those who succeeded, the first Republican politicians, they have become the jackals, the hyenas, the carnivorous animals that feed on their own, kind. Well, maybe not on their own kind per se, but the weak animals, you say. those who don't give a damn about the people they were supposed to actually lead, where women and children are victims of their failed different policies in that contraption for years. They are living large still. They are looting like money is going out of circulation. Bunch of shameless old men and women, so selfish, so self-centered, that they believe that they are actually doing us a favor for holding political office, for holding sensitive positions. Like judiciary is not even like the last hope of a common man anymore. It's now the tool of the rich, the wealthy, the powerful. Or they have a democracy, demonstration of a craze. Where freedom of speech is not a guarantee of a freedom after speech. They say it to you. There's freedom of speech, but there is no guarantee that there will be freedom after speech. That is what the contraption has become. It's come so long way that millions of lives wasted and millions more are wasting away as we speak. They said there may be light after the tunnel. Another lie. There is no light after any tunnel. It's darkness all through. So hard not to hate Nigeria. Even though I do not preach that you should hate Nigeria, but you should hate those who have put you in this situation if you can. They do not deserve any love. In fact, you do not hate them enough. They flaunt their wealth, ill-gotten wealth. They looted from you, turned themselves to philanthropists. They deny you all basic things of life. Electricity, good road, hospital, schools for your children. They deny you all of this. Jobs for those of you who are graduates. But still, they call themselves a philanthropist. The lovers of the poor. Yeah, to be lovers of the poor, that means you have to create more poor and more poverty. From the north to the east, to the west, to every part of that contraption, there is nowhere that is not feeling the pang. No one that is not feeling the pang of it. Now we all love our own criminals differently. You see the Yorubas that will defend their own criminals. You see the Igbos that will defend their own criminals. Or then you see the Arewas that will kind of be ready to kill for their own criminals. People are being pushed left, right, and center, and there's actually no real way forward. People are only existing. They are not living. So Nigeria is a place where dream goes to die. So how long do you think this is going to be? If you have been reading all the posts from those who have been talking about what happened 59 years ago, there you have it. That's what you need to know about the lies about that contraption. We are not one. Every one of them is still preaching the hatred, still preaching the division, still pointing fingers, the blame game, and still waiting or not satisfied. Yes, they are still waiting to have their pound of flesh. I'm talking about those who were, see, I was not born during the time of all this eightful period. I wasn't born, but I'm actually sharing from that today. And then they want me to carry on the hate. You know, there are those who want you to carry on the hatred. They ask you, what do you think the Yorubas have done to you wrong? What do you think Yorubas have done to you? They say, but Yorubas did so and so to our fathers. Well, they did that to your own forefathers. Not to you. No, not to me. So you hated Yorubas for that? Yes, I hate you. I hate Yorubas I hate the Igbos. I hate the Hausas. I hate this. No, I say, okay, why? You do know what they did to our forefathers, but not to you. So we are existing in a country where it is right for you to carry on the hatred. Like you just have to carry it on. You know, you are seeing parents who are sharing the hateful hatred, messages and all of that or history with their own children so that they can carry it on. With the idea of break it up to save life is also scary to some of you. You don't want to live apart. You don't want to live together. So we are just existing, lying to ourselves. So I am pro break it up. And if I, by any chance, have an opportunity to get closer to power, I will use that opportunity to facilitate the easy breakup of that contraption. So mark my face. And I implore some of you too, The only thing we haven't tried is to kind of go and live separately. We should try that. We haven't tried that. You shouldn't be afraid of living separately. I do know that the reason why this contraption is still existing is because they still have money to share. But somehow, I think we're going to get to that stage where there will be no money to share anymore. So otherwise, we'll have to find their ways. The Kwararafas, the Middle Beltons are already saying they are not Northerners. So yes, this is what I'm saying. If we want to still live together, then there must be some kind of like an arrangement, an agreement, which I doubt that if we have the opportunity of deciding if we want to be together or not, the answer is going to be no. No, we don't want to be together. That is why that decision must not be left for the politicians to decide. It must be you and I should decide. For politicians, as long as they are writing budget, as long as they can use Nigerian name as collateral in borrowing money, enriching themselves, Nigeria can continue to exist in perpetuity. And the Nigerians, they can continue to suffer and live in poverty in perpetuity as well. So what would you prefer? So I am imploring some of you who have eyes in holding sensitive, possibly powerful positions from every part of that contraption. The only thing we haven't tried, which is only way to prosperity for everyone, peace, and then peaceful coexistence, is for us to push the agenda, the idea of the break up that contraption and save lives of the generations yet unborn. They have mortgaged the ones that are here. They have also mortgaged the future of the ones that are not here yet. And they are going to be here. Just like you and I were born into this whole mess. We are not allowed to offer solutions to it. And the only solution that they do not want you to actually push is that let's go our separate ways. Let everybody handle their own affair. We're not going to die. Why are we going to die if we actually live on our own? So that we can deal with our own criminals in our own way. Let the Igbos deal with their own Igbo criminals. Let the Yorubas deal with their own Yoruba criminals. Let the Hausas and maybe Fulanis deal with their own criminals. Let everybody deal with their own criminals. Let majority of these criminals stop hiding under the banner of one Nigeria, because there is no one Nigeria. The only thing you have is many Nigerias. And that is what you must really push. No matter how long it takes. As long as I live, this will be my own goal. As long as I live. I will give you reasons. And I will continue to give you more reasons why it is better. It is safer. It is prosperous. It is more promising. If we break up this contraption, nobody will die. Let Britain, America, and the rest of them, let them find new allies in these new countries. Because today, we have become such a burden enough that we are called immigrants in this Western world. Whenever they are discussing immigrants, they will tell you about Nigerians who have left Nigeria to go and find solace, greener pasture, when in actual fact, it's not that green in this part of the world. So there's so many interested parties in keeping that contraption together. But the only people that will decide if the contraption is going to remain one or not are the people themselves, you and I. And I hope you will decide on that whenever the opportunity presents itself. This contraption is put together to kill us. And we are just victims waiting to happen. Disaster waiting to happen. Anyway, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Let's go to some other things. The person that is now in charge of the contraption today is a drug dealer or a former drug dealer, a drug addict. treasury looter. And that is Tinubu, the Jaga Were, the Jaga bandit, the Jaga addict, Aṣíwájú àwọn olè, Aṣíwájú àwọn agbèrò of Nigeria. He is currently in Abu Dhabi. They're talking about climate change. And he is their guest, second year running. He was invited last year. He's there again this year. And this is what he told them today.
The stage is yours. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to begin by extending my deepest gratitude to the President of the United Arab Emirates, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed bin Sultan Nahyan, for inviting me to this Abu Dhabi Sustainable Week. I thank the government and good people of Abu Dhabi for their generous hospitality and foresight in organizing this event. This week, leaders from all over the world come together to exchange views and perspectives on how we can collectively address the global challenges of our time. The fight against climate change is not merely an environmental necessity, but a global economic opportunity to reshape the trajectory of our continent and the global energy landscape. As leaders, stakeholders, and citizens of our planet, we stand at a crucial and critical junction in human history. To succeed, we must innovate and decisively collaborate as a global community. As Africa's most populous nation and one of its largest economies, Nigeria recognizes its responsibility to demonstrate the required leadership on these matters. We have embraced a vision of sustainability that aligns with global aspiration while addressing the local realities. Our efforts are anchored on three pillars: energy transition, climate resilience, and sustainable development. My administration, we recognize the importance of reducing carbon emission and a just transition to clean and renewable energy, promoting environmental sustainability and economic growth. Our energy transition plan, like many nations, are aimed at diversifying energy sources and reducing our dependency on fossil fuel. Prioritizing the transition to cleaner energy sources as a cornerstone of our national development strategy. Nigeria is committed to achieving a net zero emission by 2060, in line with global climate objectives. We are developing the infrastructure to utilize compressed natural gas and electric vehicles. Nigeria also is investing substantially in energy generation through exploration of efficient and internationally satisfied data required to export our solid mineral and critical metal in support of the green energy transition. Climate resiliency must be achieved. Building resiliency against the adverse effects of climate change is essential for safeguarding our African communities and economies. Nigeria is implementing climate-smart agricultural practices to enhance food security while reducing environmental impacts. The government has approved several development policies such as National Clean Cooking Gas Policy, which is aimed at promoting clean energy, environment, and health benefits and social